You had found yourselves in some drow prison. Not as prisoners, but as liberators. Sort of. You killed a few guys instead of rescuing them, but by and large, you'd rescued a couple of guys. One was a hobgoblin named Larash, the other, an elven mage named Marta. And they told you of a drow temple to the north, and how there was dastardly plans afoot. Naturally, you guys decided to intervene and assaulted the drow temple. Things did not go very well. Marta turned out to be a turncoat. Larash was slain. Torvin and Hogan fell as well. Those of you remaining beat feet and made a hasty retreat back through the prison, through the broken wall, and down the wailing tunnels, until you found yourselves on the shore of that underground river. So, Hat and Fiend, that is currently where you are. The river is still flowing lazily to your, heading to your right. And at the very edge of your dark visions, you can make out another shore, like across and just downstream from you.
Okay, so last I remembered, the riddle said, head south and we'll find our way out, or head north and there's treasure. Right? Hat?
I know we to get up here go we have to go back up the river.
To get up here or to get out of here?
To get out of here.
Let's head south down the river. Hat's not in his right mind.
What do you mean?
What north is treasure, south is out.
Okay, well then south out it is.
Yep, let's head south. Down the river, try to find our way out.
Okay. So you guys are just swimming?
Yeah, sure.
Do either of you have a swim speed? Or are you going at half speed?
Um, Probably half speed.
Half speed.
Alrighty. So you wade into the waters and begin swimming with the current, heading downstream. Slowly the shore behind you recedes, as does the hall behind you. The river taking a bend to your left and beginning to widen out after a few hundred feet. You can see rough stalagmites and stalactites along the edges of it. And as you come around that bend, you can see maybe 100 feet ahead of you. On the right, another opening that leads to a rocky shore.
Ooh.
And there,
Two.
you can see two 10-foot square rafts made of a pale wood that appear to be tied off at the edge of the river.
To the rocky shore, please.
Okay. You head to the rocky shore. As you approach, you can see that the rafts are tied up at the entrance to a small 40-foot diameter rough stone cavern. A rough hole heading out to the south, kind of going in parallel with what it looks like the river's direction to be. The other looks to turn to roughed up masonry, old, corroded, and decrepit looking masonry, a hallway, 10 feet wide that looks to head about 40 feet to a T intersection.
What do you think, Hat?
Um,
Hallway?
are you sneaky?
Yeah, but this is probably like, remember that band of thieves that run pretty much all of Waterdeep? That's where we are, right? Waterdeep. Or
Yes.
am I
That is the
somewhere else?
city above you.
Okay. Hold on.
You're talking about the other entrance to Undermount.
Undermountain, yeah. That might be the other entrance to Undermountain. And I believe the Thieves Guild or something that has to do with stealing a bunch of shit
Yeah, who is
runs
that?
that.
Who is that? Who is the actual person that runs it? Do we have the name for that?
You would. He's well known.
Oh, okay.
It's known as the Xanathar Guild.
Oh, that's who we
Oh,
need to find.
shit.
Isn't that where the prisoner was that we just tried to save and then he died?
I believe so.
Huh?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
If that's what you guys remember.
The
Sure.
Xanath.
I,
Okay.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest. I was 100% asleep during all of that. So.
Okay, so the fucking guy that was in the prison,
Mhm.
he worked. He was going to take us back to his boss.
The hobgoblin or the what? I'm not here.
Larash he's the guy that died, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Larash was supposed to take us back to his boss,
Mhm.
who was, and that is the name that is escaping me currently.
Are you scrolling back through?
I'm trying to find out where I would have put it. I don't have it.
Warlord Azrock.
Thanks. And Azrock is over the. Do we know who he's over?
Well, he's a warlord, so he must be over a band of mercenaries.
The goblins and hobgoblins on this floor.
Okay, so this is not somewhere we should be then, probably.
Finding the other entrance to from Waterdeep to Undermountain is beneficial.
It
So
is.
if this is it, it wouldn't hurt to check it out.
Okay.
Let's
Well,
let's yeah, let's
Because
check out
you
the
guys are
masonry.
currently light on party members. Being able to get back out of Undermountain might be beneficial to you.
all right. Well, let's do that. Let's do some exploring. You got to be sneaky though.
All right. Sneak south at the T intersection.
Okay. You're approaching that T intersection?
Yep.
All right. As you approach the intersection, you can see that the hallway continues to the south 20 feet before turning to its right, heading west. To the north, the masonry gets even more decrepit. Random rubble and pebbles strewing the ground. You can see areas where it looks almost like the very rock had like shifted and pushed the bricks out of the wall, leaving a rather ruinous appearance to the north. But there you can see that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60 feet before turning off to the right.
Okay, yeah, south and then east would be south would be better. At least in my brain.
Right. I lead the way.
So what do you do?
We turn south, and then you said it's east or west? East?
Well, then it turns to the right, the west.
Alright, so yeah, let's head west.
Okay. So yeah, you go to the south, following the hall as it turns to the right. There you can see the hallway kind of makes like a U-turn, turning back to the north before immediately turning back west. Kind of like a bit of a jog that you would put in to like prevent people from like shooting arrows down a hallway for a long time.
Ah, gotcha.
When you get to the
Okay.
corner, you can
Mhm.
see the hall continues for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet before the masonry gives way to more natural stone cavern. About halfway to the natural stone cavern, though, on the south side is a closed stone doorway.
Go to the doorway.
Okay.
Is the door shut?
It is.
Is there a keyhole?
There's no keyhole. It looks like this is just like a push door,
Can I knock on the push door?
if you'd like. Do you want to?
I would like to knock on the push door.
Okay. Thud, 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 thud. A minute passes. There is no apparent response.
All right, then I want to open the door.
Okay. The door opens,
Mhm.
revealing a short 30-foot section of 10-foot hall that goes to another closed stone door. In the middle of the hall, however, you can see a dead goblin. Its head completely smashed and a large block of stone laying nearby.
Nope. Let's go west. Into the cavern of natural stone.
Okay, hang on, I'm just updating the map for you.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember if I'm right.
You are.
Okay.
But a picture is worth 1,000 words, and this usually helps you guys navigate a little easier.
Yeah.
1,000 words is only worth about $10 though.
Used to be
Inflation's
worth
not what
more.
it used to be.
Inflation, man.
So we shouldn't go past the dead goblin?
There's a trap in there. I don't want to spend any time looking for it.
What if that's the way out?
Yeah, we can find other ways.
I feel like that's not quite how that works.
Yay.
Hey, Joey.
Hello, Joey.
Finally.
What's
All
going
the-
on?
All of a
I was
sudden,
at Chili's. I'm sorry.
all of a sudden,
I'm just
Joey is
kidding, you
here
should-
to help to help
Chili's,
us
what'd you get?
navigate.
2 for two entree smokehouse.
Nice.
Did you get the sausage?
No, I had it last time. It was good. It's just I got
Sausage.
half a
want to
brisket
try.
quesadilla, half a chicken bacon ranch quesadilla.
Ah.
All right, so
North, south, or west?
you said south, right?
I said west. Said west into the cavern. I didn't choose which way when we got into the cavern.
Well, if you're actually entering the cavern, I can narrow it down a little bit for you.
Okay. Yeah. That.
Because the north looks to go about 40 feet to a cave-in.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can see that there's a narrow passage leading out to the south and heading off to the southwest, and a somewhat larger passage heading off to the west that looks to be turning north. The ground is rough and a little rubbly, but otherwise appears you don't see anything otherwise out of the ordinary.
No goblin tracks or anything.
Are you looking for tracks?
Let's look for goblin tracks.
Sure, make an investigation check.
That is stuff I need investigation.
No.
Ooh. Hmm.
Sorry, I was answering Joey's question.
Yeah, I know.
No.
So,
we're not.
Fiend, as you're looking about, you do see some tracks in the dust and the rubble. It looks like somebody with booted feet headed off to the south. By the size of the foot and the length of the stride, They are a medium-sized creature.
All right.
Is that where the dead goblin is?
The dead goblin is in the hallway to the east of us, to the southeast of us. I think he's in that middle square of that little hallway that goes to the south. So let's go
Yes.
south and follow the boot track.
Okay.
Okay.
Thunder, I would like to continue following boots if I can.
You absolutely can. And you did say you were being stealthy, correct?
Yes.
Well, go ahead as you begin following this. And go ahead and give me that stealth check. Very good. Yes, you follow it, going 10, 20, 30 feet as it winds its way to the south. Another 60 feet, it turns slightly to the right. Starts heading up a little bit. Or sorry, no, I should say it stays level. My mistake. Wrong description. Another 40 feet, turns back to the south.
Mhm.
And there, you can see that it looks to be a T intersection. You can continue straight south, or it looks like it hooks back around to the east. Ahead of you, 10, 20, 30, 40, about 50 feet away, another T intersection, another opportunity to turn east. But as it goes south and more, you can... you have dark vision, right?
Right. Correct.
Right. So you can see that it does look like it's beginning to widen out to the south, and you can hear the sounds of the river coming from the south.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot currently see anything. It's past the extent of your dark vision.
Okay. Am I still following the boot tracks?
Yes, they continue south, ignoring the turnoffs.
All right. Well, yeah, that'd be fine. Continue south, following boot tracks.
Okay.
I'm just going to assume it's map updating time.
Yes. It's easiest if I update this as you guys move, otherwise I'll forget.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and as you slip ahead, you can see ahead of you, at about the extent of your dark vision, a couple of figures standing that look to be watching the river from the edge of a shoreline.
Mm-hmm.
They are currently 60 feet away from you. They appear to be medium-sized creatures.
If I get closer, can I see what kind of creatures?
Sure, but that will require another stealth check as you approach within 30 feet of them.
What if one of those creatures has a passive perception of 22?
What?
It appears to be a couple of drow.
Hmm.
And what's your passive perception?
Mine?
Yes.
8.
Okay.
Is
He's so
there?
unaware he doesn't notice that he doesn't notice.
Yeah. Is there anyone else around under? Behind those
No,
two
you're all alone.
drow?
Don't worry about it.
I have a passive of 16.
Yeah, but you're not there. He's the one doing scouting, he said. So I assume he's a little bit ahead of the party.
Yes. Yeah. So can I approach the crowd?
Yeah, you're 30 feet away from them right now. How much closer do you want to get?
I don't know. Let's do 15 feet.
Okay. You quietly approach within 15 feet of them. Their backs are to you. You can see that this shore isn't like a gentle slope down into it. It looks like there's a drop into the water, like this. It's kind of like a small cliff that would then drop down to the river. With 60 feet of dark vision.
Is there anything to my left and right? Or am I solely focused on the drop?
Well, to your left and right are just rough stone walls.
Or something? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just updating the map. At the very edge of your dark vision, you can make out that across the river, there is some other shore there as well.
I think I was trying to see.
It also appears to be a ledge of some kind. Like, it's not a gentle slope into the water, but more like, this is a couple of cave openings that are actually above the water surface.
Gotcha. Huh. Spells. Yeah, spells should be. I don't know why they didn't do that. Spells. All right. So, I believe I'd like to get a little bit closer and use Burning Hands on the drow.
Okay. Well, you sneak up and begin chanting your spell. And I think at this point we're rolling initiative.
Yeah.
Been like the first time in weeks I've rolled a decent initiative
That
roll.
is actually a 19 under. My initiative is +4.
Okay. All right. Well, Fiend, I think we'll just say Joey was surprised because you didn't communicate at all with the party. What do you do? So you're there. You're like 15 feet away from these guys.
Yeah. Get closer and Burning Hands the drow.
How close are you getting?
5 more feet.
Okay. Yeah, you get like within 10 feet of them. Their backs to you, and kafwoosh. It's a deck save, right?
Right.
Okay.
Both failed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see.
All right. Yeah. They scream in agony as they burn to death.
Okay, cool.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. From the south, across the way, you hear startled voices in Elvish. Do you understand Elvish?
I do, in fact, understand Elvish.
Okay. You hear some male drow voices calling out in Elvish. Oh, fuck. Somebody just murdered Varan and Vesdar. Hat, do you do anything at this point, having seen the flash of the fire down south?
I need to join my friend Fiend. So I'm gonna go run up to him. I'm
Okay.
gonna dash. Or do I need a dash?
He was say you guys didn't say, so I'd say he was like 30 feet from you guys.
All right, so I'll run up with him and if anything comes around that corner, I am going to I'm gonna use my last level 2 slot and go level 2 Thunder Wave.
Okay, yeah, you can ready a Thunderwave.
Yep, and I'm gonna put it right on the entrance. Basically, right on the entrance of fucking.
You understand that the drow are to the south, right? So you're basically looking at where Fiend is right now.
Yeah, there's me. There's a cliff, and then below the cliff, there's voices saying, "Oh fuck, somebody just murdered 2 people." Whoopsie daisy.
So they can't come. They realistically can't come this way.
No, they probably can. They probably have like ropes and stuff tied off.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll just ready in action that if they come within fucking 15 feet of me, they get thundered.
Okay.
And that's it for now.
Alrighty. Well, this guy. Fiend, a arrow comes out of a spot that you weren't looking at. Oh, like the voices were in one section of that ledge to the south, and then like from the other side of it, like off to the right.
Mhm.
Just a bolt out of the darkness.
I'm assuming I still can't see across the river.
You can see your dark vision is 60 feet, so you can see about as far as I've drawn that map.
Okay.
But it's like right at the edge of your dark vision. This bolt comes out of nowhere. Does a 20 hit you?
I don't think so, but let me scroll up. I'm going to assume not. No.
Okay.
But it's okay.
Yeah, off on the western edge of that, you see a figure that looks like they'd like fired, and then they drop down out of sight. You look to be about 6 feet above the surface of the water. That ledge across from you to the south looks to be about 8 feet. They are slightly higher than you.
Okay.
Joey?
So there's some darkness, you said?
No.
Oh, then.
I meant like the edge of his dark vision, so beyond that, it's just blank.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did I take damage from that?
Did you get hit by a 20?
Yes.
I thought you said no.
I said I think so, but let me check.
My mistake. Yes, you took 7 points of piercing damage. I need a con save versus poison.
Oh. I believe that puts me down as well.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, you're not poisoned. Are you unconscious, though?
I am.
All right.
I am.
So, yeah, Joe, you and Hat had been following behind Fiend as he scouted up ahead 30 feet. He appears to have closed up on some drow. There's a flash of flame and some screams of death and shouts of, oh, someone just murdered, those guys. And then you see to the south, 30 feet away from you, Fiend falls with a bolt sticking out of his chest. He's on the ground bleeding out.
Okay.
So what do you do?
30 feet in front of me, you said?
Yeah.
So I'm going to bonus action second wind for myself.
Okay.
Okay, so 9 more for me. And then I will move 30 feet up to Fiend and give him a potion of healing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the potion as you force feed it to Fiend. So Fiend, you wake up on the ground with 8 hit points. Joey, anything else on your turn?
Is there any like corners for me to like hide behind or anything?
Not really.
Well, so if I have 30 more feet of movement if I use my
Oh, well, I mean, if you can go back 30 feet, yes, then you could go back up that hall, and there the point where it narrows down to only be about 20 feet wide from the 50-foot wide ledge here. If it forms a corner, that would give you some cover.
I'll move back to there then.
Okay. Yeah, you move back to there, getting behind a hat. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, Fiend.
All right, I pop up,
right.
bonus action, dash my way, use my movement speed, and then dash all the way back to the hallway, I guess.
Okay. Just dashing back up north.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you start dashing back up north. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Hat.
Oh, so that was it. We're just running. Does that not seem like the right way to go? Probably not. That's from the river. Do we know if that's the same river we went down and this is just a lower point of it? Or is it like...
The river was flowing to the southwest the last time you guys saw it. Here it was flowing to the west.
Yes,
So-
it's connected.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. So that means probably not the right way, huh? Do we need to turn back?
Well, you have 6 seconds to decide. What do you do?
I guess I'm running back with Fiend.
Okay.
Following him.
You follow Fiend dashing.
Yep. 60.
Yep. Let's see. So, Joey, you're just around that corner.
Yeah.
You hear the sound of metal on stone, like a clink-tunk type sound.
I specifically hear that?
Yes, because you're right by that corner. And
Okay.
maybe 5 seconds later, you hear the sound of 2 boot falls lightly dropping onto the ledge that Hat and Fiend just retreated from. What do you do? It is your turn now.
I have 60 feet of dark vision. I can't see anything.
You're currently in like cover. Like you went and made it so that you couldn't be shot at. So you also means you can't see, like out there.
I thought you said they were coming. Oh, I thought you said they were coming from the other side of that. Like.
No, they're coming from the south.
Gotcha.
At least that's where those
And
sounds came from.
But the rest of the party started moving north of where
Yes,
I am.
they ran from that ledge north past you.
Then I will. Can I get around that other corner with 30 feet of movement?
What other corner?
Because I'm at the middle one, right? Looking at this map, I'm at the. Or which corner am I at? The northern corner or the?
Give me a second. I'll show you. All right. So that is your relative positions. The H and the P are where Hat and Fiend were, and then they ran to the north past you. You're the J that tucked in that little corner. The star is where you heard the sounds come from, but cannot currently see anything because there is a wall in the way.
Then I will use. I'll just. So they're what, like 10 feet past me, basically?
They dashed, so they ran 60 feet. They're basically at the top edge of the map. That little section of the map.
I'll dash. I'll dash and head up there too.
Okay. So you guys dash. Then you dash. Eventually you find yourselves back up in the corridor to the north. To the right, you can see it goes back to that masonry hall. To the left, the slightly wider tunnel that heads to the north, slightly narrowing. What do you guys do?
Yeah, I guess keep heading north. Or no, yeah, west then north. Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're doing? Okay. So you start following that as it narrows down to about 5 feet. It winds up to the north, hooking around to the left and heading 100 feet, 150. Off in the distance, you hear briefly the sound of leather footfalls on stone before it then fades off into the distance again. Another 100 feet, winding some more. And ahead of you, just up, like where it looks like the hall might be flattening out a bit, you can see that there is a passageway off to the right as well as continuing on ahead, where it winds some more.
Do we keep winding, or do you want to go right?
Let's keep winding. It seems like the best course of action for right now.
Might be putting off running into Annie and Thomas, though. Yeah, we'll keep winding.
So you guys are passing by the T intersection without going into it. It looks like it goes about 15 feet, opening up to a wider chamber.
You know what? Let's just do that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, we can head in here.
Yeah, we can definitely just take a peek in. If we don't like what we see, then we just bounce out.
Mm-hmm.
So who's taking a peek?
I'll do it.
All right, you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah, yes, please.
Well, go ahead and make a stealth check. All right, as you peek your head in, you can see this is a somewhat bulbous chamber. And behind, you can see tall figures crouched behind wooden barricades that seem to block part of the passage off to the north. You hear a guttural voice calling out, "Do you speak Goblin?"
I don't, but I think Hat or Joey does.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but you're the one peeking.
Oops.
And he's not that loud that they would hear from 30 feet away.
No, I do not speak Goblin.
But you can hear what sounds like bowstrings becoming taut.
Put my hands up. Take my underwear off and wave them like a white flag. A call for Hat and Joey. Come here. I need help speaking Goblin.
You hear more guttural language, this time yelling loudly. Do any of you speak Goblin?
I do.
Ah, yeah. It is somebody calling out in Goblin for you to show yourselves and to show yourselves and name yourselves.
Okay. Well, I'll like poke my head. I'll poke my hands first through the door. Be like, okay, hold on, don't shoot. And I'll like squeeze through the door. I'm like, I'm Hat. These are my friends. We're being hunted by the drow right now, and we're just trying to escape.
And yeah, as you kind of enter the room a bit, you can see that there are 2 passageways out to the north behind the barricade. 12 hobgoblins stand behind the barricade, 11 of them with bows drawn and aimed at the 3 of you. The other has his hand on a sword and is one yelling and seems to be in a somewhat nicer looking set of armor. And he calls out, if you are not enemies of the drow... Sorry, I misspoke. If you are enemies of the drow, then you are not our enemies. If you wish to find a way out of here, head south. It leads to the surface.
Who are you guys with?
I am Clyus the Skull Cleaver, and we are hobgoblins in the service of Warlord Azrak. We stand here to ward off incursions by the drow menace.
We briefly rescued one of your buddies. He unfortunately did not make it out of the escape, though.
Did he die well?
Oh, he died valiantly.
Then song shall be sung of him, and he shall be remembered fondly. What was his name?
Larash?
Thank you for bearing such news to us.
So hey, listen. So we went in and we found Larash in a prison, and we freed him, and then there was a plot, and some bad shit's really about to happen, and we were supposed to come to you guys for help, because they're essentially the drow are trying to attack above us and into the town above us, and it's getting pretty serious.
They are drow. Of course there are plots. They are always plotting. If you wish, I can have a couple of men escort you to speak with Warlord Azrak, if you have specific concerns. He may wish to hear of it. But if all you have is that the drow are plotting, I thank you for your concern, but we already knew this.
I cough up a little blood and tap Hat with the bloody hand. I'm like, hey, is there anywhere where we can rest? Can you ask them that? We're
Wait.
all fucked.
Wasn't there like a big serious attack upstairs? If my memory serves me correctly. They were planning something big, weren't they? When we did that whole like fucking thing.
I look at Hat and I flick the arrow sticking out of my chest. Need to rest.
Okay, fine. Do you guys got where we can crash real quick? I would like to talk to your boss. Larash, Larash had some things to say, and I think a conversation would be great.
so be it. As long as you are peaceable, then no harm shall come to you here. These two men, as he taps a couple of people, as I try to find their names.
Ah, their names. Hi, guys. How are y'all doing?
So this is Neveril and Shardak. They shall escort you into our settlement and see to it that no harm comes to you.
Oh, thanks, man. We worked with some goblins up on the first level. Yeah, been doing some good stuff with you guys.
Do they take gifts of gold? I would like to hand them like 2 or 3 gold from my pocket. Say thank you.
Of course. They will see to it that you get an audience with Azrock. After that, I'm sure he will issue you some quarters.
Hopefully they get dollars.
They take dollars.
And the two armored hobgoblins, you can see that not only with the bows, they also have sheathed longswords. Gesture for you to follow as they start leading out the small hall or small cavern to the north. Do you follow?
Oh,
Okay. So he begins leading you to the north, the passage winding to the left. After about 100 feet, it opens into a small chamber. You can see 6 bugbears who grab weapons as you enter, but relax when they see that you are both not drow and accompanied by hobgoblins.
wait.
They make no
I s-
move to oppose you once they see that.
I stole some booze from our dead friend. Let me pass a couple of booze to the big guys.
Yeah, well, they'll gladly take whatever booze you're willing to give them.
Okay.
I guess I have horns on my head. I'm not quite drow-like.
This is gonna get weird when I come in.
Oh God, are you a drow?
Maybe.
I was really hoping that either
Are
one of
you
those
actually
characters
playing a drow?
I can change.
changed.
I
So
would
let me
recommend
introduce.
it.
Okay.
You will die.
I was gonna say the party is currently in peer conflict with the drow. Trying to introduce a drow as a character for a party to join that doesn't like the drow will result in your character probably being killed on sight.
I was really hoping you were one of the 2 drow that I murdered on the cliff.
I know.
Just a suggestion, you can bring in a drow if you want, but I would not recommend it for your livelihood.
Hi, cleric.
Also
Bye, cleric.
considering what I'm bringing in. So,
Hobgoblin.
no. A Harper Drow Hunter.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
He will
Yeah,
last 2 fucking seconds.
Yeah, you would die.
Oh.
All right, cool. I'm super excited to go talk to somebody.
Let's go talk to people.
All right. Yeah, the hall narrows down. You pass by a T intersection, excited goblin voices coming from the east. Your escorts ignore them and direct you past north. Another T intersection. Again, you're shuffled past it. And as the hall winds a bit more, it begins to open up. And you find yourselves standing in what appears to be the ruins of a subterranean city. The masonry is of obvious dwarven construction. And they begin leading you through the streets.
Oh.
You can see that there are some non-hobgoblins here. You can, sorry, wrong one.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming like bugbears, dwagar, deep gnomes, people like that.
No, sorry, I had gone to the wrong identifier for that. I pulled up the identifier from if you guys had reached Skullport, not this.
Gotcha.
It is a city. It is of obvious dwarven construction, but there aren't like people laying around.
Oh, it's like an abandoned dwarven city.
Or is
Mhm.
it more like a base?
More like a base, as you're led through a couple of narrow streets and shuffled into a large room through a kind of cracked-looking stone door. Inside of there, you can see 6 goblins with ink quills sitting behind a row of makeshift desks. And a hobgoblin, wearing cracked half-moon spectacles, sits behind a stone lectern and looks up as you enter. More peaceful visitors. Well, certainly better than the drow. He turns to the 2 hobgoblins that had come with you. Thank you. You may return to your posts. So, approach. He waves you guys forward.
Yep. We approach.
So I'm the, well, if you're used to cities from above, think of me as the local constabulary. What are your names?
I'm Hat. This is Fiend and Joey.
As you name people, you hear scratching of quills on paper, and one of the goblin hands a sheaf of parchment to the hobgoblin. He looks at it and hums a bit, and hands the papers over to you. These will serve as identification papers for your time here in Azrak Hold. Should any member of the warband ask it of you, you must present these, or be thought of as an enemy spy and killed on sight.
That seems a little aggressive, but hey.
We are at war, gentlemen, and this is not a tourist destination.
Oh,
Fuck the
believe
drow.
me, we could, we'd love to be somewhere else. Wait, don't say that.
What? Fuck the drow?
No.
Or you want to be somewhere else?
Yeah. Yeah, don't say that. No, okay. Cool.
I can understand. Most people do not find the subterranean dens to be very palatable. However, you are down here. And as he picks up a bell and rings it, a couple of bugbears open a different door behind him to the left. These 2 bugbears will escort you to the warlord's chambers. He wishes to greet all guests.
Nice.
I
Looking
would
forward to meeting
remind
him.
you that he is in charge here, and you should show proper deference.
You got it.
Bow, paper stacks, all that fun stuff. I take it.
Yeah, what he
Quite.
said.
And the bugbears grunt and turn and start walking away as if they just expect you to follow them.
Following
Joey.
bugbears.
Joey, step in. You're more proper than I am.
I'm a cat, but okay.
Yeah, but you know how to be proper.
Wait,
Wait,
meow.
do you know
Lick
how
my-
to speak Goblin?
I don't speak Goblin. No, you're the only one who speaks Goblin hat.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
You can do it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh God.
All you gotta do is tell us who we're meeting. Like, who is that? I have no idea who that girl
See if I can make you guys understand languages.
is. Comprehend
Yes.
languages. We'd need tongues in order to do your job, bro. All right, we're following bugbears.
Okay. Yeah, they lead you north through a den of small, winding streets as they worked their way north. You pass by what is obviously some type of barrack. What's everyone's passive perceptions?
8.
16.
10.
All right. Well, as you're passing by a different, just north of the barracks, you notice, Hat, that a door had been opened a tiny crack, and distinctly inhuman eyes looking out at you from the cracked door. And as the bugbears kind of keep you guys moving, so you don't get a really good look, but you thought you had the barest impression that you might have seen a tentacle.
Hmm.
Oh, I know who I'm sleeping with later.
But eventually
look-
you are shuffled north to a door, a couple of hobgoblins guarding it. So who's approaching first?
I guess me.
Alright, as you approach, the hobgoblins look at you and say, in rough but passable common, papers, please.
I hold up my paper in front of them.
I hope we all hold up our papers, I guess.
Good. Yeah, he takes them, he inspects them, he hands them back and says, good, you may enter. And he opens the door.
Thank you.
Inside, you can see a large chamber of what must have once been some type of large dwarven chamber. The architecture is very distinctly dwarven. In the northeast part of the room, you can see a large hobgoblin in fine armor sitting on a throne of bleached skulls, one foot resting upon an anvil, and one hand resting on the pommel of a greatsword. He wears a helm that covers most of his face and darkens his eyes. Behind him, you can see whispering in his ear a tall female hobgoblin, also bedecked in fine armor. In attendance around the room, you can see another pair of bugbears, 4 more armed hobgoblins, 6 goblins, and 2 wargs gnawing on what appear to be humanoid bones in the southwest portion of the room.
Obviously, I walk forward, I want to say 15 paces and then kneel, unless that would be right. Closer towards the foot of the,
Mhm.
halfway between the door and the foot of the throne, I guess. Is when I'd personally do it.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to group get a little kneel down.
sure. Yeah, as you guys, take a knee in front of this throne, the hobgoblin in it speaks. I am Warlord Azrock. Welcome to my hold. What is it that has brought surface dwellers such as you to seek us out?
Oh, good afternoon, sir. Or at least I think it's afternoon. My name is Hat. We were down here, sniffing out some drow, and actually stumbled upon one of your constituents locked up. And we went ahead and freed him. Had a brief conversation, and then during our escape, unfortunately, he was slain. So we're actually here to find you, to one, pass on a message, and to run from the drow. They were after us.
Indeed. Well then, messengers of Larash, speak your message.
He had said there was a big plan for an invasion of the overworld, the city above us, and that he was trying to rile up a bunch of troops to attack to help us stop the invasion.
I see. So the drow do intend to soon launch an attack upon the surface. This is fortuitous news, for we shall marshal our forces and attack them in the rear when they are busy dealing with your surface forces. Thank you for bringing this message to us. In return, you may find protection and succor here in my hold. Quarters will be given to you, and you may spend as much time here as you need to recover. I believe there are some supplies that are available should you have gold with which to purchase them.
Thank you, sir. And if you don't mind me asking, I don't know how much reconnaissance you've done, but we ended up getting in a pretty serious fight with two super magical drow.
Two clerics.
Yeah, it was a cleric, we believe, one of them. I'm not sure if you know who they were or have you heard about them.
No doubt, empowered cultists of the demon Lolth, the so-called goddess of the drow.
Yes, indeed.
We are aware that such drow exist, and I will take great pleasure in ending their lives when they begin their attack on the surface, and thus our attack on them.
Can we help?
No.
Oh,
While I trust you to stay here and sleep and rest, I will not have you at the back of my forces during an attack on the drow. You may very well be honest in your intentions, but the drow are a perfidious lot, and I will not entrust the safety of my soldiers to you.
Respectfully, sir, I watched some of my friends become slain and massacred by these horrible creatures. At this point, I watched one of your citizens be slain by one of these creatures, and all I can think about, all I can dream about is revenge.
Then go and seek your revenge. I am not confining you here. I'm merely declining to give you my forces under your command.
Oh, we're not asking for a command. We're just asking for some help, if we can help.
So long as you have no problem charging in with the front, I don't think there will be any problems with that.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Good.
But yeah, if you have a place to stay, we got messed up pretty bad.
Of course. As he stands from the throne, he gestures at the goblins and says, show them to some quarters. Let them rest.
And then I kneel back down and thank him, and then I'll follow.
So, yeah, as the goblin, he looks somewhat scared, begins leading you out of the chamber. You do notice that when he stood up, a small necklace had kind of spilled out of his armor. Around his neck, just, the pendant had, was now visible. And it appeared to be a severed finger with a gold ring on it.
Sounds like something another character of mine would really like.
But yeah, the goblin. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say the shaking, scared goblin. Does he look like he's missing a finger?
No.
Okay.
No, the finger looked like it came from a human.
Oh. Insight?
On what? I don't understand what you're trying to insight.
Basically, if that's, I mean, it's weird, obviously. But like, there's something a little creepy going on in the background. Like, I'm getting a weird vibe from something's a little off.
A hobgoblin with no allegiance to the surface that has some random finger on his neck.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm young and dumb.
I mean, you would know that hobgoblins do sometimes keep trophies.
Okay.
And it might be that whoever previously owned that finger is the reason for that warning you got about showing deference.
I see. That makes sense. All right, to my quarters, please.
Okay. Well, the goblins begin showing you through the area to a small 30 by 20 house. Looks to have been a like the living quarters of some dwarves at one point. Currently empty. The goblin squeaks out, "You can sleep here." So what do you guys do now?
Oh, we sleep here.
Okay. Hang on, I'm updating
Are
the
we
map.
doing a watch or just trusting our hobbies?
I mean, is there a door?
Yes.
Yeah, we shut the door, and we. If there's a lock, we definitely.
There is not.
Okay, well then, can we fashion a little bell or something?
Do you have a little bell or something?
Through my items that I have. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna like lean my quarterstaff on the back of the door. So hopefully if it falls, it just makes a bunch of noise. Wakes me up.
Okay.
And I'll like position myself. Wait, is the door close to where I'd be sleeping? We just kind of like sleeping on the ground or what?
Well, yeah, there's no beds or anything. I assume you have bedrolls.
Yeah, so I'll just put my bedroll like under, so like if the quarterstaff falls, like it falls on top of like my face.
Sure.
But yeah, and then we go to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, hang on. I'm just updating the map to show everything that you guys just walked through. City streets are a little complicated.
All good, all good. How many city streets are there?
Enough.
Nice.
So you guys met Azrock in that double room on the top right of the image.
Mm-hmm.
And that 20 by 30 room, just a kind of kitty corner from it, that's where you're sleeping currently. You were brought up from the south. At the middle bottom of that image, that's where the clerk was.
Okay.
And south
Okay.
of that was the winding stone passage I described that led to that cavern.
Cool.
All right, so you guys are not setting a watch?
Stick hit me in the face. 'Cause
Huh?
I have the alert feed.
Okay, I'm just clarifying. Are you setting a watch or not?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. So morning comes with a knocking at your door. You have had a successful long rest, but it is like immediately after you guys started waking up.
Yeah. Open the door.
Standing
Yeah.
before you
Oh.
is a tall figure with pallid skin and tentacles instead of a mouth.
Well, thank you.
You hear a voice in your head. I am Ulquest, and I would like to speak with the lot of you, if I may.
Come on
Yeah.
in, friend.
Okay. Sorry, I was just pulling up an image. Here's the guy that stands at your door.
It's a mind player.
Ooh, mind flare. I don't want to fuck with this guy.
But as we know from Baldur's Gate,
Don't worry, he's a good
You're
guy.
really friendly.
mhm,
He's a. Thank you. I shan't take a lot of your time, but I have become aware of your conversation with Warlord Azrock, specifically of your desires to accompany his forces in an assault on the Drow.
Yeah. Not happy with how we left things over there for sure.
While I understand and can sympathize, I will be honest and do not believe it to be a wise decision.
mhm.
While the Legion of Azrock has never once threatened the surface world, they do not trust or appreciate outsiders. You will simply be thrown in the front. There will be no support. You will simply be bait to draw out the Drow, and you will likely die along with them.
That sounds less fun.
There is, however, a passage out of this hold. You likely passed it on your way in to this place. It leads up and out to a place known as Skullport. Are you familiar with it?
Yes. We're looking for it actually.
I see. Well, I would recommend that you go there, and if you still wish to take the fight to the Drow, perhaps look for some helping hands that can watch your back against both the Drow and the Hobgoblins, while they have currently extended to you every courtesy of hospitality here, and I do not mean to impugn their honor. Once you are on the field of battle, that will no longer apply.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, we see you guys as friends, and that's how we're gonna leave things. If you feel like we're not needed and we can get out of here, that's great too. I will say that if we ever see each other in passing again, and if you guys ever need anything from us, we always take on the job or two.
I shall keep that in mind, should mercenaries be needed. But I do not wish to send you away empty-handed, having turned you away from your right of revenge. And so I wish to give you a bit of knowledge, if you will allow me to expound.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do not know what brings you down here, to Undermountain, but you should be wary that worshippers of Lolth are not the only cultists down here. Secret temples exist in great number in Undermountain, particularly those of evil gods not welcomed in the city above, and the vile servants of these deities are locked in an endless war for supremacy in the depths of this dark dungeon. While Lolth, the demon queen of spiders, is perhaps one of the more active ones on this level of the dungeon, you will find, if you head deeper, that it will not get any friendlier.
Balls.
And then, if you have nothing else, I shall take my leave and leave you to your own decisions.
I say we get the fuck out of here. I don't
Yeah,
want to help
and
no hobgoblins. I'm sorry, hat.
yep.
I didn't really care about any of them except for maybe I want to call him Torg. That no, that's not his name.
Okay, well, which way was out?
So that chamber that you found the barricade in, where you first met the hobgoblin forces,
Yep.
Mhm.
there was a T intersection. You could have headed into that chamber or headed south. He basically told you if you head south, that takes you to Skullport.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's where we're going.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh my.
We've had a successful long rest, obviously.
Wait.
Yes, you have.
Mr. Mind Flayer guy. I don't remember your name,
Yes.
but was there any way we need to deal with the people of Skullport?
You hear a chuckling in your mind as he walks away and says, "Trust no one. You will find no greater den of vipers, thieves, and turncoats."
Oh, nice. So just do our business and get the fuck out of there, I take it?
That would likely be wise.
And last question: if we wanted to get back to the other play, Undermountain, do you
Mhm.
know which way we would have to go?
My good
We are,
man, have you been hit on the head?
we are in Undermountain.
Or
You are in part of Undermountain now.
I mean, above. Sorry. What
I
was
think
that
he
for?
means getting from Skullport to Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. Thank you.
Skullport, I have not visited myself, I do confess. Surface dwellers tend to take offense to my visage. However, it is my understanding that Skullport is in fact a port. And while there is no direct land route between Skullport and Waterdeep above it, there is a somewhat treacherous sea route along the coast that swings around to the port of Waterdeep.
It would be easier to go by sea or land.
Land would involve climbing a sheer cliff that is guarded by the City Watch. They will likely see you as monsters escaping from the depths of hell and shoot you on sight.
Fuck.
So
Okay.
we're going through the ocean.
Or fly, or teleport. There are many ways out of Skullport.
You know
Or
of
so they
anybody
say.
who can teleport us?
No. I just
Ah.
know that it is possible.
Okay.
Is there any way to get to Waterdeep from not going through Skullport, like from down here?
Well, you could backtrack, go through the Drow forces, and find your way to the upper levels once again.
Nope.
That seems less fun.
He shrugs. Then it would seem your options are limited.
All right. Well, up we go. Thank you, kind sir.
Of course. And to answer your question, my name is Ambassador Elquist.
Elquest?
Nice to meet you.
I really need to write these things down, but I have a feeling we are not going to see him again. If you ever make it to Waterdeep, swing by our inn. I would love to ride your face sometime.
Whoa.
You don't
Don't-
hear that. He's in my head.
He simply walks away.
All right. Well, we're gonna go up into the south.
Okay. Yeah, so you head south through the streets. You see hobgoblins more or less just think like a military camp. This isn't like a city like with, residential areas. This is more of a military fort. Fixing armor, sharpening weapons, binding fletching. You head south, past the bugbears, to the barricade. With your papers in hand, and you are not slow. You're not really slow. Just a couple of people do ask to see them. And eventually you head south, out of the chamber, and through a winding, narrow cavern, which begins to slope upward.
I'm imagining something like that as we're walking through.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. And as you're following this winding upward trajectoried path, it eventually comes to an end. A rough masonry wall and a closed, somewhat decrepit looking wooden door in front of you.
Open the wooden door, please.
Okay. You open the wooden door. Ahead, you can see that it looks to have been a rough palisade closing off this passage behind you. Ahead of you, you can see rough-hewn stone and buildings made of wood and plaster. The 90-foot-high cavern is covered with a forest of stalactites on the ceiling. And you can see people moving about, holding torches to see, dressed in armor and armed, though it does not appear to be people in the best of quality equipment, all of them sending somewhat furtive glances at you, and no one seems to be jovial. These are people moving with purpose.
So will we.
Well, then so are we.
Okay.
To the nearest inn. Let's find some information.
Okay, how do you plan to find an inn?
Just wander the streets till we find something.
Okay.
Or like a bar or something.
Oh, well, a bar is easy to find. You just follow the voices. It's kind of like the one happy place.
Aha! Go where the smiles are. There will be alcohol.
Yeah, generally. As you're walking through, tightly packed buildings of wood and stone are piled atop another. You can see there are like 3 levels of walkways. Like the bottom level where you are, a middle level, and an upper level. Thoroughfares wind through the town at weird angles. This is a labyrinth of not only mazes of buildings, but also the catwalks above you. From the shape of it, you can see that many of the structures are made from the old wrecks of ships. But eventually,
Okay.
you do find your way to a somewhat squalid one-story tavern. You can, as you walk in, there's a few dwarves drinking, some gambling going on, some talking. Generally low voices, but about as jovial as you've seen so far here. 2 minotaurs stand in dark corners, kind of giving everyone a side eye. And a hat, you notice something floating above you near the ceiling.
Ooh.
It
Can I
would.
just-
Go ahead.
I was say, what is it?
Well, You can see this floating creature with a single large eye and 4 eye stalks that seem to be looking about the place, though it's just floating up there. The rest of the patrons don't seem to be paying it any mind.
Okay. Well, then neither will I.
Mm-hmm. And while a lot of these people look like almost like miners, right? You know, they're somewhat drab, their clothes are dirty. You
say
do see
miners?
miners, as in those who mine.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the things that Minecraft people like.
Because my character has a thing with
That's a thing for miners.
for miners that's not healthy.
About the only people that would stand out is you can see at one table a dwarf dressed in somewhat nicer armor, still somewhat rough, but not as decrepit and old looking. There is another sitting with him, though. They just because of the way the shadows fall, they are somewhat indistinct at the moment. The Dwergar behind the bar kind of gives you a stink eye as you just stand there.
All right. So there's a bunch of
Oh.
people in here. How much would it be to buy everyone around?
Nah, let's just go to the barkeep.
Don't. Go ahead.
No, that's what I said. No, let's go to the barkeep.
All right, you walk up there. A Dwergar looks at you guys. Well, you look like shit that just crawled out of a under mountain.
In fact, we are.
We are.
I
Well,
flicked the arrow that's still sticking out of my chest.
No, we just slept. So you don't have it in your chest anymore.
Well, then I think congratulations are in order. Congratulations on surviving.
Thank you.
I'm Droon, and this is the Black Tankard. What can I get you?
Fastest way to Waterdeep.
Whiskey.
I have Wormwiz.
That works too.
What is that?
Whiskey.
Mushroom alcohol. Brew it myself. 2 silver per drink.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just start feeding him silver.
Okay, how many silver do you give him? How many drinks do you want?
I'll stop at 4.
Okay. Yeah, you give him 8 silver. He gives you 4 mugs of Wormwiz. It is shitty. Like it's
It's like a mead that has
imagine
white.
an alcohol made out of the distilled blue juice of a used portageon.
Yeah.
You know that guy who's been trying to
I
make mead out of Baja Blast on
I
YouTube?
say respectfully, I'm gonna drink all this, but
It
Could-
it dulls the pain.
It does its job, and that's all I care about.
Yes, indeed.
No,
Now, go for it.
go ahead. You're up.
Oh, fastest way to Waterdeep.
Charter a boat. Or bribe the
Where-
Xanathar Guild.
Yep. Okay. Do you know roughly how much that would cost?
Chartering a boat? No, I hate
Yeah.
the water.
I kind of figured.
I live here because I must, not because I want to.
I'm guessing that means you would know who we could talk to about chartering a boat.
I'd imagine you'd want to go down to the docks and see if there's a boat there to hire.
Yep.
Thanks.
And then I say, here, try and use this when you're brewing next time, and I hand him all of Torvin's old ingredients.
You wouldn't have those.
I know. I take them from Hat.
I wouldn't have 'em either.
Oh, that's wait. Well, then how did you
I-
take the alcohol from him?
That
Died
was
with my gear on me.
yeah. The alcohol was from a while ago.
Ah. Never mind. I don't have anything.
So, Colleen.
Aelin?
Okay, Kalen.
That
So,
Underdark spelling.
yeah, so you're you're sitting at your table with your friend Annie and Thomas, and you know you can see these obvious adventurer types talking about trying to get back to Waterdeep.
Do I have any connections down here that I could leverage to gain their trust and betray them later? I mean, to become friends with them.
Well, yeah, you got a friend who's got a way to kind of smuggle people up and down. He owes you a favor, so he has no problem getting people backwards and forwards.
All right.
Oh, it's good to be owed favors.
Definitely.
You don't know that.
Especially in a place like this.
Well, I will let them muse and leave Annie to watch them, and I'll go make sure my buddy's available and get a rough head count. Well, there's the 3 party members that are here: Fiend, Joey, Hat, and then I think just Dylan's character is the only other that's not here, right?
My brother as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll just go see if he's got room for 5. So I'll go run and chat with him real quick and let Annie observe and see what stupid shit they do.
We're observing.
Friends is a strong word.
Family is better.
Oh no, he is a trophy orphan.
All right, yeah. So you head over, Kalen, to your friend who owes you a favor. Tasselgrin is a elderly woman who keeps her home down here in Skullport, more out of just sheer spite and defiance than anything.
Ah, kind of one of those that has the farm fields built all around it.
Yes. More like, she moved in, and then the neighborhood around her went to shit, and just out of pure spite, she refuses to move.
Or, I'm sorry, not the farm fields, the house with all the skyscrapers around it. That's the thought I was going for.
Mm-hmm.
But in the other direction.
Yeah,
was
but the
once a
important
nice
thing
neighborhood.
is that she knows a spell called Teleportation Circle. And she owes you a favor, which might be used to, say, return to Waterdeep through it.
All right.
You know that she generally otherwise sells the use of that circle at 50 gold a head.
Okay. Well, I'll tell her she might have some customers, but I'm going to be cashing in on that favor.
She nods and says, well, then I suppose that makes us even. Do bring your friends along soon, though. I'm expecting company for tea.
Actually. Fair do, my dear. And Caitlin heads back to the bar.
Yeah, I presume the party's still there, drinking that swill and trying to decide what to do.
Oh yeah, we are. Um,
Oh,
I
you
don't
guys need
wanna-
to lift out of here. Caitlin just like walks up and sits next to your table.
oh, hello, young lady.
He's a dude. I suppose dwarf though, so you couldn't really tell. Well, I'm a man.
And if I wasn't
But
clear,
that's-
Annie and Thomas are also in the bar here.
Yeah, I don't. I'm still watching from afar, just kind of
Okay.
keeping an eye on everything.
Yeah, you said you heard.
Bodyguard.
You said you heard we needed a ride.
Well, I heard you were trying to get to Waterdeep. I don't exactly have a ride, but I do have a way.
Oh. Well, that would be super beneficial to us. What's your name?
Ah, you can call me Caitlin.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Is that your friend over there? Eye fucking us.
What is Annie?
Annie's a human woman, and Thomas is a mastiff.
Ah, okay.
You didn't do what I think you did.
I did not.
It's not two children in a trench coat.
No, I sent I sent this video to
No,
you.
you didn't send it to me. I didn't do that. I just
Oh,
wanted a doll.
what is Annie specifically? Human what?
Human.
Yes, but we have established human. If we're friends, I would know what your class is.
Oh, cleric.
Okay.
Yeah, follower of Saloon.
Oh, that's
But
a
yeah.
revolving door.
So yeah, we were in. Obviously, then I'll fill them in with blah 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 blah. This is all the things we did, and this is what we've been doing, and blah 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 blah.
Ah, so you found the drow. They are a Riley bunch.
Yeah, so now they're about to attack. You know, well,
They always plot. They always say. They always plot.
I know, but you know, still.
The number of drow plots that actually succeed. Well, I don't need any fingers to count that.
Well, okay. So how
But
about that
anyway,
run?
if you're trying to get to Waterdeep, I do have a way, though it is not free. Nothing is free here.
How much is it?
Well, this is where we begin the barter. You tell me how much you think it's worth to get to Waterdeep. And then we will go from there.
Huh. Well, if I can think, do we have anything on our possessions? I'm more talking to Joey and Hi. Do you guys have things on you that we picked up from the
Oh,
items, golds, things?
nope.
How much do we need?
I don't know. I'm trying to play Ruffles' little game. So
You teach you guys how to fucking barter. You guys never barter.
we don't have anything. Everything was you held on to everything and you were dead, and then Dylan's got a bunch of shit, but he's never here.
Dylan does have like 90% of the magic.
Dylan has a lot of shit. I have a vial of spider venom.
I was keeping track of the valuables. Torvin was not carrying the valuables.
Well, Dylan has them, so technically, whoever the fuck Dylan? Well, Dylan's technically with us, so
Dylan, give him all your shit.
Dylan, who doesn't exist today, give him all your shit.
No, I do have stuff, but it was on the character sheet that got deleted.
Hey, do you want to like become best friends and then, like adventure together and do cool shit?
Because you know what time it is? I think it's adventure time.
With Ben and Jake?
Come along, grab your friends.
Yeah,
It's-
come on, grab your friends.
It's Adventure Time with Jacob, Jacob, and Jacob.
Jacob, and Jacob. Jake, and Jacob.
That's how I feel under.
You're gonna add an Ed and Eddie spinoff.
Yep. Jake, and Jacob. No, I think Ed, and Eddie would be Jake, Jack, and Jacob. Jake, Jack, and Jacob.
Okay, so barter, pop, you're in our group now. We're best friends.
No, no, you're not fucking walking around at had barter. That's the currency the party has.
I don't even know what we have.
That's the
Hey,
currency.
that's
Just put
the
it in chat.
currency. We'll
Just
give
put
you
it in
Also, all
chat.
our copper.
435 copper pieces. Which is what?
4 gold.
4 gold?
I feel like we're on a fucking the
Yeah,
set
how
of the Little
fa-
Rascals.
Well, how far of a travel like is it? Do we know?
How far is Skullport to Waterdeep under?
Like half night, right?
It's basically a day's sail. Because you have to leave and then turn around and come right back to a different port. Skullport is literally like Waterdeep is a coastal city. It has cliffs on the coast, doesn't have beaches. Carved into the lower recesses of some of these cliffs is the secret enclave known as Skullport, a den of scum and villainy, the likes of which the city would like to forget about.
And
Aha.
like Kaylin.
All right, so knowing what I know, and it's a day's travel, I have to think.
What would be enough for lodging for 7
For-
people and fare?
No,
and
not
seafair?
7, because I'm not paying for the other fucking these two.
Yeah, you only need to barter for 5.
Only
Kaylin
bar-
and Annie are accounted for. We're
So
we're
let's
we're
do
built in.
Yeah, like I'd give you 100 gold.
no.
That's reasonable for 7 people or 5
No,
people.
we're not
and
giving
travel.
them 10 platinum.
For travel, a full day's travel and lodging and
That's
everything?
like 25 gold max.
All right. Well, then you barter, you fucking dweeb.
I was going to.
Okay, well, take it away.
So what about 50 gold and we cover Annie fare as well?
Ah, well, if we were going by ship, that'd be a fair price.
Where are we going by?
I'm cashing in one of my chits, and my chits are very, very valuable.
50 gold valuable?
50 gold ahead.
So 500 gold for everybody.
Sure.
That's not
Mm.
happening. I'll give you 100
Most-
gold.
You're also
Shut
bad at
up,
math.
Hat.
50 gold ahead would be 250 for 5 people, guys. Come
yeah,
on.
Almighty.
Yeah, that's why I said shut the fuck
That's
up,
why I
Hat.
said 500 gold. Sure.
Offer
Shut-
200.
Shut
Oh.
up, Hat. Let's do. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Let's
See,
do.
this is just an exercise. We're gonna
Yeah.
do this anyway, but it's just to show you, like, bartering is not hard as long
Yeah,
as you
I
don't
know.
think too hard about it.
I know. It's just I have one person who's probably high as shit right now trying to barter. Not me, or one other person who's probably high as shit right now trying to
I'm
barter.
trying to be reasonable.
Yeah. You said something about 500 gold. I'm like, no.
I said 100 gold. You said 500 gold. You
Yeah, he said
donut.
100, and then I said, Kaylin said that his chit's really valuable, and you
Yeah.
want 50 gold ahead, and you're like, so 500 gold, and Kaylin's
Hey,
like,
boy,
wow, you
you-
did not pass math, did you?
Yeah,
Sure,
fuck you,
500 gold, we'll shake
don't-
on it.
Don't fuck up and blame me.
I was trying to do the math.
I'll
I'm
give you 100
very-
gold. Get us home, baby.
Yeah.
All right. We'll call
100.
it 200. Come with me.
150.
And then Kalen will just look over at Annie and nod, and then start heading for the door.
Oh, fuck. We're gonna have to guard our pocketbooks. Hat.
Surprisingly, he's not a rogue.
No, I'm very well aware. Who,
Oh,
Annie?
you mean? I mean, we have to barter with the guy who's gonna be in our group.
Probably. Yeah.
No. No, I was doing that as an exercise for you guys to practice
No,
bartering.
too late. Too late. You already agreed to it. I said it within the confines of me paying you for these services. So, now that money I gave you is now party's funds.
You finally figured it out. It didn't actually matter. I just wanted you guys to practice bartering. That was it.
Gotcha. I'm just
Hey,
watching
As
these
far as
orcs
I'm
dance.
concerned,
I'm
you're the new
sorry.
guy. Why you gotta make us practice anything?
Because we're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna get anywhere in
Gain our
Skullport if we don't
trust.
know. We're not gonna get anywhere in Skullport if we don't know how to at least barter a little bit.
All right. Anyway, let's
Well,
go.
you're leaving Skullport.
I know.
Well, let's go leave Skullport.
We'll probably have to come back eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
but,
Alright.
Why do you want to go to Waterdeep?
Because it's not Skullport.
correct. We'll come back to
Fair.
Skullport later.
When we need to get out.
We have a fucking guy now. And I point to this shady motherfucker, Kalen.
Yeah.
All right, so Kalen, you're going back to Tesselgrin.
Yes.
All right.
The deal has been struck. The die is cast.
Yeah, so you guys can see that Kalen is leading you towards a storefront with a faded sign above it that reads, "The Poisoned Quill." He knocks on the door, and this elderly-looking woman opens and says, you have returned, and promptly. I do like working with competent people. Do come in, come in.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you guys like any tea, perhaps?
No, just would like to go home.
Oh, you guys have to try her Earl Grey. It's amazing.
I'll try the Earl Grey.
What advise again?
Well, she has a steaming mug of it, and she just presents it to you like, well, then do go ahead, try it.
It's probably safe, but you just told me not to trust anyone. So
Jesus, bro. Just
do I
do
trust
the
my party members?
do the investigation check.
You should
No.
try it. It's
I'll-
delicious.
Kalen's already sipping his mug.
Okay, I'll sip it.
Okay. It is really good tea. Like, high quality. You would not expect it to be this good tea.
Oh,
Definitely smugglers then.
How else do you think we get tea in here?
Well,
Indeed.
yeah.
There are so few rapscallions in this area that enjoy a good cup. I'm glad to find some people of civilization around. But I'm afraid that I don't have time to chit-chat. I have a guest coming shortly, and I would prefer to not keep him waiting. So if you would please step this way, the teleportation circle is in the back.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, she leads you into the back. You can see this old, chalk-worn teleportation circle etched into the floor. And she indicates it and says, well, there it is, in all its glory. Please step inside, and I shall begin the casting.
okay.
Does anybody not step inside?
I definitely step inside.
Okay, I'm going to assume then that you all step inside. And she begins casting a spell. There is a flash of light, and suddenly the sound of wood creaking underfoot as dappled sunlight filters through the inside of an attic roof. You find yourselves standing in a dusty attic. You can hear seagulls. And does anybody have a passive perception 16 or above?
Yes.
Yep.
Ah. Well, in the moments before the teleportation went off, you did catch a glimpse of Tasselgrin's visitor, just as he was walking into the store as you guys left. Here's what he looked like.
Whoa.
But yeah, you guys turn out as you find the stairs down out of the attic to have been teleported into an old abandoned orphanage on the docks in the city of Waterdeep.
Did you just say orphanage?
Yes, an old, closed, abandoned orphanage.
Oh. Goody.
And as you guys step out onto the streets, merchants going about, the sun blazing away above you in this nice, bright, warm day, I think that's where we will leave it this evening.
Successfully